reasons that we're going to talk about today, why you're getting injured as a beginning boxer, MMA fighter, and so on. The first is a lot of people like to just use heavy bags. Beware of the heavy bag, okay? It's not as useful as people think. It's a good tool. It's one of the oldest tools that we used in modern boxing and so on, okay? But the problem with heavy bags, especially if you get a heavier solid bag like this, like a Muay Thai style bag, where it's nice and hard, and you start laying into this thing, all right? This is where the injuries start. The injuries start because the bag is heavy. Bags are supposed to move. You're supposed to move with the bag and everything like this, whereas beginners tend to just lay into them, okay? The second thing that causes your injury is mechanics. So if you don't have good mechanics, that's the other reason. When you start punching a heavy bag, don't go in and just lay into it with everything that you've got, okay? Unless your mechanics are with you. What causes these problems? I have a couple of you asking about shoulders, okay, which are primary injuries, usually the shoulder from the jab, okay? If you're throwing a jab and you're having a problem with that jab shoulder, it's probably because you're just sticking and pushing through your punches, okay? Start off smooth, develop your finesse, develop your mechanics, okay? A jab is not simply just pushing your punch in. When you're throwing a jab, you're not just shooting your arm out like this. You want the mechanics. You want to be behind your jab, all right? Whether it's a short jab, okay? There's all kinds of jabs that you can throw. There's fish hooks, there's all types of things that we can put into this. But when you're throwing the jab, the first thing is your mechanics, meaning that you rotate your hips, your shoulders, and your knuckle turns slightly down. It's not flat. I don't want to land on these last three knuckles, okay? If I find that I'm hitting here, and see how this knuckle is, the black side of this, if I'm hitting on this black half of the glove, I'm likely going to cause injury to my hand. It's called boxer's fracture, all right? When I throw my punch, I want to rotate that glove, okay? I want to rotate. Notice my shoulder. It's rotating behind. It's in alignment, okay? When I turn, my body turns into alignment. If you look back here, my hip, my knees turn into alignment. I can step, I can move back with my jab. There's all kinds of mechanics we can put behind the jab. But if you're just throwing this out front and your elbow is jamming out to the back, to the side, what's gonna happen is you're gonna start getting shoulder injuries, okay? When I'm doing this, the other thing I'm doing is, again, like I said, don't push through your jab, all right? You're gonna lose your opponent, you're gonna push them away, and you're not gonna get the effect. Start off learning just to throw your punch and get your distance, okay? Work your distance so that you're in here. Roll that hand over, okay? Get your chin in alignment, throw it from high, bring it back high. Drop that elbow, boom, back in. Then as you get that, start, just poking at it. Poke, boom, bring it back, poke. Look at your mechanics as it's going, okay? The other thing is the big right hand. A lot of people throw this big right hand, and this is the shoulder that blows out the most. Your rear shoulder, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, whatever stands, rear shoulder, because people tend to pull back and whiplash it. I'm not saying you can't throw this, but you have to keep this hand in front of your shoulders. That doesn't mean that the hand doesn't go back here, but if it goes back here, so should my shoulder, all right? So if I'm going here and I'm winding back, it stays in front of me, okay? It's my body delivering the punch and turning it through, okay? If I start doing this type of stuff, okay, and I'm doing these, I'm not saying that you can't throw these whip punches, but when you make contact, you better have that hand in front of the shoulder. If not, and this hand drags, look at this position that I'm in, all right? If I get caught here, or somebody blocks it right as I'm here, and my body continues to go through, I'm gonna sublux, I'm gonna damage, I'm gonna dislocate, I'm gonna really hurt that shoulder. So a couple things are, okay, keep your punches in front of you. Rotate your body to generate your power, okay? Boom. You want a power jab, you can cock that point with your right shoulder, deliver your jab here. You got your short jab, even with your short jab, slight rotation. Your long jab, rotate through, okay? With your crosses, make sure that you don't hang, behind your punch. If you're hitting heavy bags like this, work on these ones more for your timing, distance, okay? Movement, and so on. These ones, you've got a little more. They're a little softer. You can work on getting in the body a little more, and so on. Know the bag, what it's used for, but beware of the heavy bag because it causes that damage. Everybody wants to just lay in and do all these things, you know, try to move the bag with punches. If you're doing that, that's fine as long as you have your mechanics. The much better tools are tools like your speed bags, the air bags. Another thing, guys, don't try to hit hard on air bags, okay? If you have your double end bags, your speed bags, your bullet ball techniques, you're not trying to hit those things hard. You're working on timing and rhythm, all right? Work on flow and you'll become much better. So if you put on a song and you just work on moving, you know, get your footwork going, swing, boom, work your bumps, bang, move, get in, get out. Work on your defense, okay? Work on shadow boxing. These types of things keep your balance so that you're not training yourself wrong. One of the other things that happens when you start hitting heavy bags as a beginner is you lean and you push into it. If you're throwing from your knuckles, your punch, you're gonna be in trouble. Because if I throw from my hand, look what happens to my head. I'm gonna get popped right up under that chin, okay? So when you throw from your hip and your legs. Keep yourself in a nice 10-degree upright kind of stance, all right? Don't lean over that foot. So this is just a tip I want to give you guys today. Again, work on your balance. Get yourself, videotape yourself, watch what you're doing. If you find that you're reaching to do this to your punches, okay, and I'm pushing through that heavy bag, that force is going to come back and go to your primary joint, okay, which is your shoulder that's attached to your torso. It's going to reflect up that arm and shock it like a kickstand. If you're doing that, expect problems, okay? If you're not rotating your hand, remembering that your middle knuckle is the only knuckle in alignment with your forearm, okay? So rotate that hand. Good to know if you're going street fighting, all right? The other thing, again, just a reminder, if you guys are fighting on the street, this fist is meant for sport. If you're going to fight on the street, not saying that you should, and you want to protect your hand, you don't have anything in your hands are taped, what you want to do is kickstand. All you need is the middle finger, but you can close the hand here. Try that. Look at how it pronounces that middle knuckle. All right, see that? That's the knuckle you're hitting with. So when you're delivering that punch, again, rotate that knuckle in. See that? Get behind your punches as well. So you should be looking right down over that punch. All right, guys, that's a tip for today. Hope to see you soon. Cheers.